Hi Aries, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. So as always, quick message about my readings. They are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. And so whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Aries, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three. It's going to give you a much clearer picture of how these speak to you and which part of you I, as a tarot reader, resonate with. So with that said, before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. Please, please, please head over to my new channel and check it out. It's guided visualizations and meditations. There's a whole bunch more on their way to you. Check out the link in the description box below, and personal readings are back. So if you want to get a personal reading with me, hit that link in the description. For your key to the week this week, Aries, you have the High Priestess. And I'm never surprised to see this card when I read for Aries. I know quite a lot of Aries people. My mother is one of them, and she happens to be one of the most psychic people I know. She's also one of the craziest, right? But I love her to bits. All jokes aside, this week, my dear Aries people, pay attention to your intuition. It is trying to get a vital message to you. Whenever I see this card, I would say to people, you know, it can represent so strong psychic feelings or impressions. Sometimes you see this card when your intuition is trying to tell you something, but maybe you're ignoring it. And if that is the case, and you have had like a consistent message, or maybe you're having a recurring dream, maybe there's something that's coming up for you on that sort of intuitive psychic gut impression sort of level, and you're ignoring it. When you see this card show up in a reading, it means that your intuition is correct and it's trying to get a message to you. So whatever it is that you're maybe refusing to hear, or you don't want to hear because, you know, for any reason, pay attention, because there is really a message there for you. And the other thing that I'm being told to tell you as well is this. If you've been having an intuition and you keep convincing yourself that you're not right, or, you know, no, that can't be it, like that thing that you keep batting aside, this is the confirmation for you, right? Now, for your actions and options this week, you have the Five of Cups. This is going to be a big week of acknowledgement for you, Aries. Remember, your Five of Cups can be loss, it can be mourning, but it can also be the realization that something has to be let go, that something has to be released. And coupled with the High Priestess there, this, I think, if I'm completely honest with you, Aries, this is the week for you to cough it up. Whatever that secret is, whatever that thing that you've been holding on to, that maybe you're embarrassed or ashamed to talk about, this is the week for you to speak on it. This is the week for you to divulge it. You know, there's a saying goes, like, a problem shared is a problem halved. There is no deeper truth than that, you know, well, aside from a few others, obviously, but you get my point, right? So whatever it is, you have the support network around you. And more importantly, the message of the Five of Cups: don't cry for the spilt milk. Pay attention to the things that you do have, not the things so much that you've lost. For your communications and conversations, you have the King of Wands. So for me, this card represents the sign of Aries, and it's a very powerful card. And in terms of your communications, this is a week really where you have to allow yourself to be seen. The mark of a truly good leader isn't somebody that's invincible. It's somebody that recognizes and demonstrates their own vulnerability and humanity. You need to be approachable this week, right? You need to be ready, willing and able to speak about your fears. Then there is going to be an opportunity to do that. And it's not going to do, like, in the back of your mind, you might think, oh, you know, if I'm admitting some sort of weakness, then people are going to, you know, the vultures are going to descend. And it won't actually be that. This week, you have a chance to really have the people that you love and care about rally around you like never before. But it's going to rely on you being honest and open and speaking your truth. Now, when it comes to your work sector, for those of you that work for somebody else, again, you could be getting some privy information. So, you know, maybe you're being put forward for a position that's coming up. Maybe you're getting a tip about a position that's coming up before anybody else gets it, which is really exciting. So be aware of that. You know, somebody might come to you and say, look, you know what, this is coming up and actually we think you'd be great for it. Maybe you want to apply. For those of you that work for yourselves, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, etc., this is really nice. Whatever it is that you're working on in the background that's taken a whole heap of energy, a whole heap of your time, a whole heap of frustration has come about because of this idea as well. You are so much closer to it than you know. Now, you do have the Five of Cups there, which means maybe for those of you that work for yourselves in any capacity, this might be the week where you need to say, actually, you know what, there is something that I need to outsource. There is something that somebody else is going to have to do. And, you know, if you're saying to yourself like, oh, you know, it's just the financial aspect that's holding me back, spend the money now so that you don't have to spend, you know, X amounts of money and time and resources later on. For those of you that are retired, no longer working, you know, for any reason, this would be a great week for you to tap into your intuitive faculties and abilities, but it would also be a great week for you to open up about those things. So anything of the spiritual nature, anything of a physical nature as well that you've been thinking, you know, after lockdown and all the rest of it, I'd like to get back into, find a way to do that now. Find a way to do that at home, you know, unless of course it's like something crazy like, I don't know, pole vaulting. You can't obviously do that at home, but you know, find things that you can do at home that have a very physical nature or a very psychic or spiritual nature to them. For your money and materials, you have the Five of Wands. So you've got two fives here. Two fives is about vigils. What are you putting your focus and attention on? This week you need to pay attention to that, especially when you've got such a powerful psychic energy floating around. Whenever there's a heightened psychic awareness or energy about you, you're manifesting faster than normal. And if you focus on the things that you don't want, especially as two fives represents a vigil where your attention or your focus is, if that is the case this week, what you're going to create is just a whole bunch more of what you don't want. Stay focused. Specifically for your money and your finances, the Five of Wands suggests that, you know what, it is going to be through other people, through connecting to other people, that you make your money. That is, or you're going to increase the yield. So this would also be a great week if you can find, if you can connect to your competitors and turn them into allies, and there will be an opportunity to do this week. My advice would be to go for it, because it will really help you get ahead. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is talking about your back specifically, your heart. This would be a really good week for you to work on strengthening those areas in particular. It would be a great week, like even if you're not necessarily so inclined, or you think, oh, you know, I'm not very good at it, who bloody cares? Stick the music on and dance your tushy off. That is my best advice to you for your health this week. Stick some music on and dance around the house. Like literally, you will be surprised how much you get out of it. And also this card is a very active card, you know, sports, anything that gets your heart pumping, heart moving, you know, anything that's like even a little bit theatrical, like dance, expressive, interpretive dance. You know, maybe not like that, but you get my point. For your home and environment, the reason I do this, guys, is because obviously your money and materials is more than just your finances. Your home and environment, it suggests that this week there are going to be some challenges and there are going to be some changes. This could be somebody in the family whose health maybe takes a bit of a turn, who, you know, previously was fine. So just be aware of that this week. And then for your love and relations, you've got the Strength card. Okay, so whoever the Leo is in your family, just be aware that this week they may need your help, they may need your assistance for something. Why do I say that? King of Wands can be a fire sign person, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, coupled with the Strength card in close proximity. That's a Leo person. Usually a Leo male, but, you know, moot concept, but you get my point. So just be aware of that. Now, for those of you that are single, this week, for those of you that are single and have somebody that's kind of in the vicinity, this week you may be realizing that actually this person just isn't for you. You know, maybe somebody that you're talking to, maybe somebody that you're, you know, kind of with, but not really with, if that makes sense. What it does suggest is that there's a lot of fun to be had. And if you can treat it as such, you'll get so much more out of it. Whereas if you start putting, you know, hard, heavy, extreme labels on it now, you know, it might be, you know, it's like, you know, when a seed grows, like when it's first in that sort of like stalky bit, that's the most vulnerable that it is. When it grows into like a proper branch, then it's okay, like it will stand the test of time. It's kind of like that. For those of you that are married, partnered, long-term relationship, etc., that Strength card is really asking you to search your heart and ask yourself what can be improved, what needs to change, and if it doesn't, I think this week you're going to be setting yourself and the relationship a deadline or a shelf life. And, you know, a lot of people might say like, oh, you know, that's not a very good way to be. Well, no, actually, if it's just a bad situation, it's good to give yourself, right, okay, if it hasn't improved in 6 months, then maybe I'm going to look at maybe calling it a day. So it just looks like a lot of you are really searching that sort of space on the internal level to say, okay, what needs to change here? What can change here? What are the possibilities? With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Hit the link in the description box below or check out the comments and let me know how it goes for you. Take care, and I'll see you soon.